I didn't know Strasbourg looks like Venice meets medieval Germany. Now I do. I didn't know Strasbourg once had the tallest building in the world. Now I do too. I am kicking off this Europe adventure in the beautiful Zurich. Over the next 15 days, I will explore 4 new countries that I have never stepped foot in before, and then discover the towns and cities in between. And the best part, I'm doing it entirely by train with a Eurail pass, hopping on and off across borders, all while keeping it budget friendly. I will also be checking a few spots off my bucket list. Welcome aboard the Uncle Go Europe series, a cheap way to travel across Europe. This is Strasbourg. I'm now 156 kilometers away from where I started in Zurich this morning. And I just paid 20 euros for a reserved train seat to Paris. But the train leaves in 2 hours, so what do? I turn this boring layover into an epic surprise city tour of one of France's most underrated gems, Strasbourg. This train station is totally insane. You are looking at Gare de Strasbourg-ville, and it is one of the coolest train stations in Europe. That's old meets new. The past meets the future. Strasbourg is no ordinary city. It's one of the 4 de facto capitals of the European Union, alongside with Brussels, Luxembourg, and Frankfurt. The architecture of this city is a crazy mashup of French charm and German engineering. I just walk out of the train station and in under 5 minutes, I'm here. This is River Ill, and it cuts right through the heart of Strasbourg. But hold on, it's not just another scenic river. The people in Strasbourg built a full-on dam system right inside the old town. The starting point of the dam system is best viewed from the Vauban Dam, or Barrage Vauban, which is a fascinating blend of historical military architecture and functional water engineering. This 300-year-old dam was part of Strasbourg fortification system. Interestingly, it is not just a dam, it's a bridge, military barrier, and hydraulic system all rolled into one. That's so insane. By closing its 13 arches with large wooden gates, the flow of the river would build up and back up, flooding the surrounding land. This makes it impossible for enemy troops to advance, turning the landscape into a swampy barrier. But today, the dam is no longer used for military defense, but its surrounding canal system still plays a vital role in Strasbourg urban river life. One would find a series of modern hydraulic locks integrated into the historical canal system. These hydraulic locks will raise and lower boats between different levels of the river and canal, almost like a water elevator. They are fully functional and used daily by tour boats and private vessels cruising through the city. Watching these hydraulic locks in action is mesmerizing. First, you see the boat approaching the gate. Then, the gate closes behind the boat. Water is then pumped in or out to change the water level. The boat then slowly rises or descends before continuing its journey. I have a good time watching boats literally get lifted and dropped by ancient hydraulic locks, and marvel at how this medieval technology still works to this very days. It's like seeing a living machine in the middle of an old town. This hydraulic system way of lifting boats up and down the canal is particularly rare in such a European city and offers a dramatic visual experience right next to a centuries-old building. I've seen old towns, but this is the next level engineering art, and it's happening right in the middle of one of the prettiest cities in France. And then there's this, a hidden gem on Quai Saint-Thomas. This hanging willow tunnel by the river is like nature whispering a secret. Seriously, walking through feels like a mini fantasy world. The vibe here is unmatched. I see tourists smiling, river crews gliding, sun bouncing off the water, and those hydraulic locks, they just keep going, like a live water show. Walking beyond the Vauban Dam, I reach Petite France. Petite France is the most iconic and picturesque quarter of Strasbourg Old Town, located on Gare de Ill, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's like walking into a storybook village, where I see cobblestone streets, flower-filled balconies, timber frame houses, and canal that gives it a French Venice vibe. Why is this place called Petite France, when it makes no sense to have this weird name Little France in France itself? Surprisingly, as I research, the name doesn't come from patriotism or beauty. You see, in the 16th century, when local mercenaries fighting all over Europe, upon returning home, guess what these soldiers bring back home? Money? Trophies? No, they brought home syphilis. Back then, syphilis was nicknamed as the French disease by the Germans. And in the 16th century, this area was home to a hospital that treated syphilis. So the name Petite France was originally a sarcastic reference. But today, the name has been reclaimed and is now full of charm and pride. And what makes this Petite France so special? Petite France is filled with canals and bridges, formed by the crisscross of the canals of the Ill River. It is home to historical locks and moving water gates, as you see earlier, and is a great place to catch a river cruise. This is one place one can also see half-timbered Alsatian houses. These beautifully preserved buildings dated back to the 16th and 17th centuries. There is vibrant facade, steep roof, and wooden beam designs. Coupled with the historical canals, water deck bridges, and these medieval houses make it feel like a living postcard. It really lives up to the expectation of a typical UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is the most picturesque area in Strasbourg. It is hard to envisage that in the past, this used to be the poor man district filled with tanners and fishermen. But now, with cafes and restaurants, it is now full of charm and tourists. There's cafe, boutique, ice cream shops around every corner. And this is totally pedestrian friendly. And it's just perfect for wandering on foot. This is Strasbourg Mini Venice. And this is Petite France, the most photogenic district in Strasbourg. I really enjoy walking in Petite France. It's almost like Venice meets medieval Germany, with charming canals, pastel houses, cobblestone streets, and timber frame architecture straight out of a storybook. Walking further deeper into Petite France beautiful houses, it is almost impossible to miss a structure that springs high up among the low-rise houses. This is Strasbourg Cathedral, or Cathedral Notre-Dame de Strasbourg. This Gothic masterpiece was indeed the world's tallest building from the year 1647 to 1874. Reaching a height of 142 meters, this held the record as the tallest building for 227 years. Today, it is the sixth tallest church in the world and the tallest structure built entirely in the Middle Ages. Originally, this Notre Dame of Strasbourg is to be built to mimic the Notre Dame of Paris. But eventually, only one tower is built due to the lack of financing halfway through the construction. Nevertheless, the cathedral's single spire makes it instantly recognizable and distinctive among the many Notre Dame's cathedrals found in Europe. I'm so lucky that the queue into the free of charge admission church is not too long. I am told that there is a long queue during weekends, by the way. The Strasbourg Cathedral is breathtaking. I see soaring ceiling and vibrant stained glass, and that's the poor man's Bible found on these beautiful pieces of glasses. There is also a giant rose window above the main entrance that glows in the sunlight. And this is one of the most iconic rose windows in Europe. The classic Gothic architecture draws the eyes upwards. The tall, narrow arches and vaulted ceiling give this space a divine, almost weightless feeling. And those massive stained glass panels from the 12th to 14th centuries survive to these very days. The light from the glass pane flood the church with colored lights, and these were used to teach stories from the Bible to illiterate medieval visitors back in the good old days. Walking further deeper towards the altar, and on its right-hand side, one can see the famous astronomical clock with its intricate carving and pink sandstone structure that changes color with the light. Built also in the 16th century, this Renaissance clock piece still functions, and it not only tells the time but also tracks the moon, the sun, the planets, and even the eclipse. Do not miss the daily show at 12:30 p.m. when the mechanical apostle marches around Jesus. Walking out of the Strasbourg Cathedral, I am walking out of a sacred piece of art. I start retracing back the journey I took back to the train station, passing through the old beautiful buildings along the way. I give myself enough time to get gloriously lost in the winding streets. As much as I love it here, I have a train to catch, so it's time for me to head back. The area Strasbourg is located is famous for its French genre of Alsatian wine and food culture. I wanted to grab some local bites, but got totally distracted by the beauty of Strasbourg that I only got less than 20 minutes left before my next train to Paris departs. In the end, I panicked ate a Burger King chicken cheddar sandwich. And the verdict? Is salty, probably due to the cheese. and public toilet usually charges €1. So technically, after deducted the €1 toilet pass, the sandwich costs €7. Not a bad deal. Before coming here, Strasbourg wasn't on my itinerary, but it totally should have been and deserved to be in. If you have got a layover here, don't stay at the station. Go explore. Strasbourg might just be one of the most beautiful surprises in France. I am back to the Strasbourg train station. Like, comment, and follow me for more spontaneous discovery across Europe. And I see you when we reach my next destination in Paris.